searching for something. Something never comes, never leads to nothing. Nothing satisfies, but I'm getting closer to the prize at the end.
Welcome to the Gameplan Online for season 2016. We're back and better than ever. And our first guest today is newly promoted co-captain of Berri Football Club, Grady Obst. Great to have you on board, mate.
Yeah, no, thanks for having me, mate.
No worries. We just mentioned obviously the co-captaincy up there with the newly crowned Willis medalist Pete Safralides. I imagine that's a real honour for you, especially in such limited time at the footy club.
Yeah, absolutely. It's something that I probably wasn't quite expecting, but the coaches approached me, and I hope that I know I've got something to offer to the club in that respect. So,
yeah.
And to do it alongside Saf is an honour, and obviously I think I'll learn a lot off of him and about the club and team and all the rest. So yeah, look forward to it.
Awesome. How's the pre-season gone with Terry? I think he's into his third year as coach now.
Yeah. It's been a pretty solid pre-season as usual. So and enjoyable. New bunch of guys as well. So we're having a bit of fun out there and training hard. So it's been good. Yeah.
Awesome. And I guess the big plus for you guys this year is that there hasn't been too many outs. It's been all ins, and the ones that have gone, been limited. Ryan Porter's probably the main one that's left. But other than that, you've had an influx of guys come to the football club, which is going to hold you guys in good stead, I would have thought. Yeah,
for sure. Obviously losing Ports he's a big out. He was obviously a very good player, and the other one was Brooks. So, but apart from that, we've got quite a few really good players who have come in. Tyson Lindsay, who's obviously a huge in for us. For his sake, I'm sure he hopes that the Crows get a few injuries, but for our sake, we sort of hope that they don't, because he adds a lot to our team, and the Gross boys as well. Up forward, that he's in the trial matches. I think he's probably kicked five or six goals in both.
That's both.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. So they add a lot, and then we've had Jason Ridley as well, whose partners moved into the area, and a few of the Lyric boys as well, which are all going to add a lot. They're all really good players, I think. So I can't wait for the season to start.
It's a bit of the young dynamic to the group now, isn't it? All these young fellas coming in, particularly from Lyric, and adding a little bit more, just talking to Lefty, a little bit more flavour to the club, I guess, and just a bit of youthful exuberance, I guess. Yeah,
there's definitely that youth there mixed in with a few of the older guys. So I think we've got a well spread side this year, and a good mix of youth and age. So I think it'll work well.
Cool. Obviously, last year's heartbreak of losing that second semi, and what could have been if Berri had got up against Loxton North there. How has the team recovered from that, and do you feel that with the ins you've got coming in, that you can go that extra step this year and make the grand final?
Yeah, it was tough, heartbreaking. It's still a pretty touchy subject. It was you sort of put everything into that game, and that's the way it all folds out. So we've I think with the side that we've got this year, like I was saying just before, I think we're a lot more well balanced. We've got a lot more firepower up forward. I think our strength last year was probably our back line anyway. We created a lot of run and movement from there. So overall I think we've got a better side, and I think we're every chance to sort of go that next step this year. So
Awesome. And over the off season, got engaged, I understand.
Yes, I did.
And I hear it was quite the classy proposal as well. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
I sort of had it in mind for a while, and just came to that morning. Well, today's the day, so I did it. So exciting times. Just adds to the whole year. I didn't quite realise what's involved in organising an engagement and wedding, so we've got our hands full there. So we've enjoyed our time here, and look forward to sort of starting life here and settling down. So we love the areas.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's good. Yeah. No worries. Well, we'll just get into the round one's games. Obviously, only the Riverland games this week. No independent. They start next week. And we'll get to your game first, mate. Barmah Monash versus Berri down at the Lakeside. Barmah Monash, obviously, with the new coach and Steve Marks, who's been at the footy club for a long time. Got the respect of a lot of people there. And unfortunately for Marksy, he's lost quite a few players there with guys like Aaron Dart, the Willis medalist, the Gross boys, as we spoke about. Steve Burton is a maybe, I believe, at this stage, but a lot of guys going out. But he's also got a couple of good ins as well, with former Sturt player Richard O'Grady coming in, a guy called Luke Thomas, Kane Cornish. So there's guys coming in, but whether they can cover for the guys they've lost, I'm not sure. And for Berri, you spoke about Jason Ridley. Can you tell me a little bit about Luke Cotter, another new player you've got?
Yeah, I haven't really seen too much of him on the track at this stage. I think he's been pretty caught up with work and moving down here and that sort of thing. But pretty similar to a Pelly, really. He's quite tallish and a bit wiry, and looks pretty good on the track. But yeah, apart from that, he's probably only been to a handful of trainings. So he's definitely in the mix. I think he'll add a lot to our side for sure.
For sure. And obviously we spoke about Ryan Porter and Dylan Brooks at the outs. So pretty minimal outs for Berri, which is good. Obviously you're going to tip Demons.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
And I think Berri as well, quite comfortably in round one. Next game is the Loxton Derby. Loxton v Loxton North over at Loxton. And like Barmer Monash, Loxton have lost quite a few players. Ryan Nichols, Nathan Peterson, Gray, Ben Gordon, the full forward from last year. Ralph Little, I think they lost their 3 leading goal kickers from last year, which is really going to hurt them in the long run. But they've brought some ins. Brad Yeomans, local policeman, I believe, is coming to the side. Brad Coles, Matthew Penny, guys that can play football, coming to that side. So, but it does look like it's going to be a long season for Loxton at this stage. So, Loxton North. Not too much change there. It's been pretty minimal. Shane Uren's come on as a coach, former Barra Monash A-grade coach. Lost Matt Wolford, obviously that's going to hurt. Best on ground in last year's grand final, but they do get Nathan Brown back, which is a big in. And Blake Henschke's the other one they've lost to retirement, with Ben Harrington will probably slot in there somewhere and take his spot. So how do you see that one going, Grady?
It's definitely hard to go past Loxton North, last year's premiers. They're a very consistent side, and they, like you say, they haven't really lost too much. So, I know that Loxton have lost quite a few players, but they've got some good ins there, and you can never really write any side off. But I think that Loxton North would win that one pretty comfortably.
Particularly early in the season, I guess you want to be hoping for an upset early just to get a bit of momentum. So hopefully Loxton can do that. And the last game down at Wakery is Wakery v Renmark. We'll go through Wakery's ins. Probably the main one is Matt Spenceley, former Wakery player who's also on the Adelaide Crows supplement list like Tyson is for Berri. And so hopefully they'll see a bit of him in the midfield. Joseph Haynes is another good in for them, a little bit of a lively half-forward wingman type player, also a former Wakery player. They've lost some big players, Wakery, which you look at it, their key players like Stephen Braun, Michael Bratton, Sean Steele, and Reed Beeching is going to be out for a fair chunk of the season as well, still struggling with that finger, I believe. So probably, it's going to be hard to sort of judge Wakery, I think, early on. And Renmark, with new coach Matt Martinson, getting about 50 out on the track at the moment, which is great to see. And big one there is Matt Wolford coming in to boost that midfield. They were missing for the first 5 weeks, I believe, with that shoulder injury in a trial game. And Dave Kinnear is another big in for them up forward. They've also lost a few guys as well, Josh Warnock and Jared Bollenhagen, so they're going to fill a few gaps as well. How do you see this one going, mate?
I think that Wakery would win it, but I wouldn't put it past Renmark to put it right up to them. From what I've heard, they've recruited, like you said, some good players, and they've been putting in a lot of effort on the track. From what I've been told, they've been training, running an extra night as well. And I wouldn't put it past them to put it up to them, but I think that Wakery would win that one in a close game.
I'm going to go Renmark purely for the fact what you just said. They've been running hard, they've been working hard, and the fact that they've been getting so many numbers on the training track, I think that gives them possibly an edge over a few teams in the pre-season, early in the season. Whether that holds them in good stead for later on in the year, we'll wait and see. But Renmark in a close one for me. No worries, Grady. That's all for today. Thank you very much for coming in, and all the best for the season ahead. Hopefully the Demons can go that step further, and we'll be back next week with another edition of the Game Plan Online. Don't forget to grab a copy of the Game Plan Weekly at your local footy matches, and if you haven't got one already from the Pioneer, the season preview Game Plan, which features our good mate Grady here. Nice photo of him in there. So get your hands on a copy of that, and we'll see you next week. Thanks.
Hidden up my sleeve.